afternoon. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is concert number, geez, I got my pages screwed up here. Concert number 466. And I welcome you here. Warren and Janelle are here, and Steve Edelman, Slim Edelman as we know him, and Michael Anthony Wood out there in southwest Oklahoma, and Rhonda Scott Merrick heading to her car. And Charlie Bryant is here, and a few people are kind of trickling in. I'll give it a little time. Carol Pred's here. We can take a little moment and clink each other hello. So I clink to you on this beginning of Thanksgiving week. Here's to you and to all the things we have to be grateful for. And Debbie Moore is here, and Carol Pred, and Ken Nashif, and it goes on. The beat goes on. Dave Van Allen is here. Dave's a great pedal steel player, and Lauren Payne, who I just found out for the first time this week is normally called Lori instead of Lauren. I've been addressing her too formally, apparently. And Margot Lemieux, and Kathy Marsick, and Mike Verbick. I thank all of you for being here. I thank you for being part of this community. And I'll start with a little song for you here. Ain't gonna sing no lonesome tune. Oh, babe, I'm a-comin' soon. Can't believe I've been so long away. You're the sweetest thing I've... A man must look around, sorry. And you're the sweetest thing I found. You're lost high rollers rolling home today. My daddy said to me, son, it's hard as you shall see to find someone on whom you can rely. And in the kitchen mama sneezed, and he grinned big as you please. He said, bless you, and a tear came to his eye. I did decide that very day that I would like to live that way. And now I know I've just been wasting time. It's with you I want to be, and if you feel the same as me, I'll be headed home upon the straightest line. Gonna sing no lonesome tune. Oh, babe, I'm a-comin' soon. Can't believe I've been so long away. But a man must look around. You're the sweetest thing I found. Your lost high rollers rolling home today. Ain't Gonna Sing No Lonesome Tune by Townes Van Zandt. the late, great Townes Van Zandt. And let me back up a little here. I can see some other people have shown up. S.A. Tudhope is here, and did I say hi to Mike Verbeek and Melissa Fleming? And Steve Davidson, hi Steve, and Deb Leby Clark, and Bunny Barnes, and Leslie Williams Earhart, who used to have the office right next door to mine when I had an office in Percy. And Rich Laughlin is here, still testing positive, although symptoms free, the shackles remain. So Rich had COVID this past week. And as we get to more and more indoor get-togethers, be careful, folks. This ain't over. And Donna Greenberg, and there's so many. I saw your post also, Donna. There's so many of us who are losing relatives and friends and spouses, and I feel like issuing a kind of general shout out of support and love to those of you who are dealing with tough times right now. We've all known some tough times, and I'm sorry you're having them. So this next one actually is one of my tough time songs. Song I wrote a couple years ago, year and a half ago. Well, I've lost you, you won't be back again, but I'm ready to move on. You were so fiercely independent way back then. Still, I never saw it coming till the end. You were the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you when all was said and done. You stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one. Now there are things I wish I'd said when you were here. You didn't always make it easy to confide. In many ways we both made our love clear, but there were privacies that we each kept inside. You were the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you when all was said and done. You stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one. We each could stand alone from the start, so I'll be strong and I'll be moving on. There is a part of you forever in my heart, as cold as steel and warmer than the sun. You were the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you when all was said and done. You stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one, now you're gone. You were the one. So I'm going to switch out guitars here. So I'm going to play you an instrumental, and let me see if I'm missing anybody here. I think I said hello to everybody who's on the list right now. We lost another great guitarist this week, Danny Kalb, and Danny was a big hero of mine. And when I was young in high school, some of the people who may be here, they might be here today and not writing in, or they might not be here. But Jim Moore and Rusty Leisenheimer and John Huebner and I used to go to La Cave, which was a really world-class coffee house in Cleveland, and we would go see our favorite folk singers, and Tom Rush and Phil Ochs, and I saw Josh White Sr. there, and Dave Van Ronk, many others. And one time we went to see Phil Ochs, and he had brought with him an opening act, and it was a band called the Blues Project. And we were kind of like, oh, God, an electric blues band, just what we wanted to hear. And we were kind of sitting there, half listening, and then we started fully listening, and we heard Danny Kalb play the most remarkable electric blues guitar. And I became a big Danny Kalb fan that night, and then they came back again. They did a live appearance. It was so sappy because Cleveland didn't really have much of a market for these kind of acts, but they would book them at these. They'd go to a record store and do an in-person appearance, and so they did this in-person appearance. I think it was in Willowick or Wycliffe, and at Disc Records. So we went out there, and I got Danny Kalb's autograph and all this stuff. Anyhow, years go by, and in the early '80s, I was, during that time, I searched back and found that Danny Kalb had played a lot of acoustic guitar. The Blues Project band was named after an album called The Blues Project, which was not an electric blues album. It was a compendium of modern urban blues guitarists, all acoustic. So Danny Kalb was on it, Dave Van Ronk, Kerner, Ray, and Glover, Mark Spolstra, I think, was on it, Eric von Schmidt, Jeff Muldor. Just a wonderful collection of these great acoustic blues players. And so I heard that, and I heard Danny Kalb play acoustic guitar, and then found that he had played on a bunch of stuff, that he had been Phil Ochs' backup guitarist on his first album, and that he had played, there's these various little albums on Prestige Records. I think there's one called The Folk Stringers or something. And so I always loved his playing, and in 1981, I went to New York, and I had a gig playing a fingerstyle guitar night at the Eagle Tavern in New York City, where there was me and two other acts. There was three of us, and so I'm up on stage playing, and I can see the people in the audience, like the lighting was such that you could see people, and right in the middle, sitting in front of me, is this kind of big, heavy guy with a comb over, and I'm thinking, that guy looks really familiar to me. So I got off stage. It was my buddy Ari Eisinger was the MC for this, and so he said, "Oh, come with me. I want you to meet somebody." So it was Danny Kalb, who had gained a lot of weight, but was sitting in the audience, And he was so gracious. He was really nice to me, and he just said, I had a fancy version of High Society, the Jelly Roll Morton tune, and he said, I recorded that once. He said I could never get the clarinet part in it, and I said, I think I stole part of my arrangement from your arrangement. I just remembered. And he said, well, you could get it. He said, you're good enough that you could get that clarinet part if you wanted to. And I was so flattered, and it was such a nice thing. And then he got up on stage. He borrowed my guitar and did one guest song. He did the Death Letter Blues. And just killed it. And I don't remember, I don't want to diss anybody, but I remember there was a young African-American guy on the bill, one of the three people on the bill, and he was playing blues, but he was so, it was so white. It was like there was just nothing bluesy about it. And I remember saying afterwards, I think my second wife, who's just my girlfriend at that time, Mary Hickson, was with me, and I said, "What you've just seen is a black man who can't sing the blues and a white man who can," and it was remarkable. Anyhow, I will play you Danny Kalb's. My arrangement of Danny Kalb's arrangement of a tune he did on the Blues Project album called Hello Baby Blues. Hello Baby Blues, remembering Danny Kalb. So usually I would have done the announcements by now, but I was a little emotional, so I'll be right back. By the way, if you were wondering where where Charlie the dog was, here he is. He's in his usual perch on his own little love seat. And Charlie's been doing pretty well. We had a really trying walk this afternoon about an hour ago because his nemesis, there's this big brown dog at the park who's his nemesis, and I have to keep him far away from that dog. And whenever I see that dog, I have to head in a different direction. And that dog was all over the place today, and he's off lead. And then everywhere I turned, there was another dog. It was like crazy, it was like dog city there in every direction. And then, so we finally got him away without him. He never went totally over threshold. He got really close. But it was trying for him, and I think trying for me as well. So he gets a big, like that. He gets a big congratulations. He's a great little guy, and he's getting better, I hope. So some announcements. The Invisibles, Kit Serikaku and Kate Mack and Linda Worster and Judith Fox and Mike Stillman and Bill Rubenstein and Joel Biget and Mario Prue. And I appreciate all you guys. I know sometimes you're here and sometimes you're not, but I appreciate that just like I appreciate the rest of you. I give thanks on this Thanksgiving week for you guys. And as usual, there is a PayPal thing, so your contributions go to fill the dog biscuit tin and try to keep this little guy under control. Friday night, I fired up the wood stove. Charlie was great. I fired it up about a month ago. I think I'm going to mention this, and Charlie kind of freaked out over it. And then Friday night, I fired it up, and he was great. And then last night I fired it up and he freaked out over it again. So I'm trying to counter conditioning him. So what I'm saying is any donations you give goes to liver treats to shove in his mouth while he's watching the fire burn and not freaking out. That's the way counter conditioning works. And as Tammy Dettinger, who's here, would be easy, sure to tell you. So let me see who else I might have missed. Connie Adams is here, and my old buddy Alex Bevan. And as far as I can tell, Alex, you're still not doing anything online. So if you are, let us know. David Arthur Ratcliffe, good to see you, David. And I don't think I'm missing anybody else right now. I think, Judy Coolidge. Hi, Judy. And Boaz Kim. Yeah, you guys were I did see people go by. And Ashling Bain and a bunch of you. So, I think that's about all the people who I had not said hi to. And I talked about Danny Kalb, which I want to do. Steve Sherman is here, too. Steve Sherman is Bunny Barnes' brother. And I have to get a flat pick out here. So I will be back on Wednesday. Today I'm here. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday, Cozy Sheridan and Charlie Koch will do their stream at 10:30 Eastern Time. And that should be lovely. It always is. And you can get to it by going to Cozy Sheridan's page. And as I've said many times, it's not C-O-Z-Y, it's C-O-S-Y. And if you look her up, you'll find it. And I told you a little bit about my buddy Charlie here. And like that. So I will do one more for you now. Everybody's restless, they got no place to go. Someone's always trying to tell them something they already know. So their anger and resentment flow, and don't it make you wanna rock and roll all night long. Mohammed's Radio. I heard somebody singing sweet and soulful on the radio. Mohammed's Radio. You know the sheriff's got his problems too, and he will surely take them out on you. In walked the village idiot, and his face was all aglow. He's been up all night listening to Mohammed's Radio. Don't it make you wanna rock and roll all night long? Mohammed's Radio. I heard somebody singing sweet and soulful on the radio. Mohammed's Radio. Everybody's desperate, trying to make ends meet. You work all day and still can't pay the price of gasoline and meat. Alas, our lives are incomplete. Don't it make you wanna rock and roll all night long? Mohammed's Radio. I heard somebody singing sweet and soulful on the radio. Mohammed's Radio. You've been up all night listening for his drum, hoping that the righteous might just come. I heard the general whisper to his aide-de-camp, be watchful for Mohammed's lamb. Don't it make you wanna rock and roll all night long? Mohammed's Radio. I heard somebody singing sweet and soulful on the radio. Mohammed's Radio. Mohammed's Radio. Be happy and be healthy. Be brave and be calm. Be kind. It's a snap, and if you get cranky, take a nap. Mohammed's Radio. Thank you so much for joining me for another concert here. I'll be back on Wednesday, which is Thanksgiving Eve, and I have a Thanksgiving Eve song for you, and I'll have a couple other songs as well, 3 p.m. And go listen to Cozy and Charlie tomorrow morning. Have a great day. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. And if you can stay away from all the nemesis dogs, it's fine. And I will talk to you guys soon, and I will find my way off of this video. Bye-bye.